Welcome, gentlemen, in you come. Let me look. There's a table over there. That's right, just under that window, over there. So you go and sit down. Alice will bring you some ale in a minute. Alice? Alice? These gentlemen are going to need some ale. Very well. Did you get your horses stabled? Excellent. Excellent. And the boys looking after them for you? That's excellent. Very good. You go and sit down. Alice will bring you some ale. Welcome. Welcome to the inn. My name's Agnes and I am the landlady here. Now, I don't have any trouble in this inn. I don't pay to have trouble, so if you should think about coming to pay us a visit, well, I do hope that you will mind your manners and your behaviour. Now, we are one of the finest inns on this road, even if I say it myself. Fine ale, fine food, and because you're likely to get very tired no matter whether you're travelling north, travelling south, we offer some beds as well. So whatever you would require, we can offer you. Obviously, there is a small charge for our services, but I think you'll find we compare very reasonably with any other inn you might happen upon. And indeed, we are better than most of them. But, you know, Alice, the ale. Oh, you've just been to top the jug up. Very well. Now, oh, what a day it's been. What? Oh, they want some food. Oh, well, you know what the choices are, Alice. You know, we've got the finest pottage at 4 silver pennies, and the ordinary pottage at 3 silver pennies. Which would they prefer? They'd like the finest pottage. Very well. Now, I'm sure you know what pottage is, but you know, it's any meal, any food you cook in a pot. So my finest pottage is in this pot here. Now, this pottage has a special name. This is frumenty. Now, my frumenty, in fact, I've already got some served up in a dish ready for him. As you can see, wheat, the finest wheat. There we are, wheat from last year. It was a good harvest last year. I hope yours was equally good. Pound that wheat down in your pestle and mortar, and then mix it with some almond milk, quite expensive, you know, some fruit and some honey to sweeten. There, and oh, I say it myself. That's excellent. Alice, when you've got a minute, you like to come and serve it? Oh, we'll just tell him you're going to be a few moments. Very well. She's a bit slow, but willing, very willing. A lot better than some I've had. So that's my finest pottage, my frumenty. Obviously you cook it, and this pot stands in the ash alongside the fire. Give that a nice slow cook. But what do most of us like to eat? What does almost everybody have to eat? In fact, another type of pottage. Now, as I say, it can contain whatever you like, but for the most part, most people's pottage, especially all through the winter, is a dish made from these dried peas. Now, I'm sure you're very aware, peas are so obliging. They grow in the summer, you put them all out in the sun, always hoping we get some nice sunshine, and they dry out ever so quickly. You can store them in sacks, hang them up so all the rats and mice don't eat them, and then all through the winter, once you put these back in some nice hot water and let them stand for a little while to soften up, they're as good as they were when you picked them. and they form the basis of most of your meals. You ask anyone in the villages round here, I'm sure you know yourself. But by the time you get to March, I think all of us are a bit fed up with peas. But very important to get a nice full belly. So what can you put with them? Well, it's not a good time of year now. It's sort of difficult. So you have to get, well, you have to use whatever it is you've got. So as you can see, some of my vegetables are not looking quite so good now. My parsnips. I've got some beet here. Then over here, onions. They're always good in your pottage. They give it a nice flavour. Some turnips. They're quite good. Oh, you might use a little bit of garlic for seasoning. And then whatever herbs you can use. Well, I've got here some sage, rosemary, thyme. These all grow nicely in the garden, and of course they're green all winter, so that's quite useful. My marigolds, well, they come up quite nicely. That always looks nice if you sprinkle the petals on the top. And I've got here some worts. So you can see here some nice green leaves. We can chop those up and put them in. Of course, early in the spring, well, you could do now actually. You can use nettle. Just the top 4 leaves are the best, but I usually use my apron to pick them, just so your fingers don't get too sore. And comfrey, you can use Alexander's, whatever you can find really that comes up green in the spring. Chop that up and put it in your pottage. Whatever you do, make sure it's all well cooked though, because I'm sure you know if you don't cook things well enough, you can end up with quite an upset tummy. That's never good. Now, pardon? What is it you want, sir? You want some pottage? Oh, what sort of pottage would you like? Did you want just ordinary? 3 silver pennies. Oh, very well. Oh, all right then. Right, I'll get your dish. Oh, and you want the spoon? You've lost your spoon. Most people used to always carry a spoon and a knife with them. You don't expect to have someone provide it for you. That'll be an extra silver penny. All right, you happy with that? It'll take a minute to make yourself. Hang on. Right, so ordinary pottage. Here it is here. So this is a nice mix of peas, all those things I showed you there, all chopped up in here. There we are. There. So there you can see ordinary pottage. Is that quite? You get used to eating it. So there we are. Alright? Oh, you'll be back in a minute. Alright then. I'll put it over the side here. Now, of course, tomorrow I'm going to be making a rather better pottage because I haven't got much saffron, so I can't keep using that. So tomorrow's more expensive pot is going to have some meat in it. As you can see here, I've got some fine bits of pork, and I'm just cutting this up with my knife, and that's going to go in the pot, and I shall put the pot back over the fire soon. And that'll be nice and ready for tomorrow. Anything in the pot today that's not been cooked, well, we just keep adding it. Your pot's always over the fire. And there we are. I've got my meat. Now, as you can see, I've got a selection of things up here. We've got some pheasant, some partridges, some rabbits. Now, did you know rabbit used to be a very expensive meat? In fact, the likes of me and possibly you caught eating rabbit, well, nasty punishments, because it was only the rich people could eat rabbit. But now, of course, they've spread out, and living round here, of course, we've got lots of rabbits, so they quite often end up in the pot. Nice meat, rabbit. Like rabbit. They're a nuisance in the garden, I tell you, eating all your new plants. So there, I'll be finished chopping this up in a minute. Now, oh, how could I, to go with your pottage? Of course, bread. You need a nice piece of bread. I do like to bake the bread myself, first thing in the morning. I'm trying to get Alice to do it, but as I said, she's a little bit slow. This is what she made this morning. Anyway, it'll do. Time you've dipped that in your pottage, that'll soon soften up a bit. But a quarter of bread to go with your pottage. Alice, Alice! You see gentleman over there, wants some more ale? Look, he's waving. No, over there. Excellent. Oh, you got to fill the jug up. All right, well, don't keep him. Tell him as you go past, you're coming back to him, all right? I do like to keep my customers happy. There. Well, it's good business. They'll come back again. And they'll tell other people that this is a good inn to visit. So, well, I hope you can see that should you be passing this way, and you know your manners, if you'd like to call in, we can make you most welcome with our fine ale, our fine food, and our nice soft beds. Of course, we're very reasonable, so I do hope perhaps we might be seeing you soon.